Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and our next destination is the Great Flinders Netball Association. They had their first round on the weekend that was, and one of the stars of Tumby Bay is joining me on the line right now, Alex Stratford. How are you, Alex?
Good, thank you.
That's good. I hope you don't mind me calling you one of the stars of the team. You're not too modest about that, are you?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, let's get into it. There were obviously a lot of stars on display for Tumby Bay on the weekend. You lot had a very nice win over United Yeelanna, 65-35, nice and high scoring from both teams as well. In fact, United Yeelanna's 35 would have been enough to win the other two games, but they fell 30 goals short in this one. So nice and high scoring and a nice win for you in Tumby Bay.
Absolutely. I was almost going to point out the exact same thing. Not to down on any of Yeelanna's attempts. They did absolutely brilliant on the weekend, and it was just a very fast-paced game, back and forth, up and down the court, and most goals just went straight in the goal ring, and, 3 for a goal. So it was a very, like I said, fast-paced game. Tumby Bay just very quick out the gates and had the good momentum early, which United Yeelanna needed to adjust, which they did midway through the first quarter. United Yeelanna had a big Cassie Maxfield out in this game, so a bit of height and experience missing there, but they did have some young ones with Elsie Madden, Abby Cash, who were back from uni, and Ruby Orchard was over for the holidays. So 3 big ins for them as well. Just couldn't quite help them out there enough. But United Yeelanna utilised their tactical changes very well. They got their fresh legs running throughout the mid-court, which was good to see that the new changes, everyone's adapting and using them well. And, Yeelanna did comment that they possibly overused their changes, which would have disrupted the play, leading them sort of to catch up when Tumby just got the flow on. So, it was good to see, though, that we utilised those changes. In Tumby Bay's shooting circle was Stacey and Maisie Curtis, so the mother-daughter combinations. That was awesome to sort of witness that. They both barely missed their goals, and they shot from almost anywhere that they got the ball in the ring. So it was a very good show that they put on for Tumby Bay. And the mid-quarters, Carly Dunn and Ellie Grant, they were reading off one another well for their first game together, and they had excellent drive down the court. So I'll give Yeelanna a couple more weeks just to get back in the swing, get their full team on the court and work out some set plays, etc. And I reckon they'll have some great potential come the end of the year.
Well, putting on 35 goals, even in a 30-goal loss, is a pretty good effort, so we'll keep an eye on Yeelanna. And, gee whiz, the mother-daughter combo in the goal ring, was there any competition about who scored more goals or anything like that?
I'm not quite sure about that, but I'm sure Maisie would have held it to her mum as well. So Stacey will probably be out to get her for the rest of the year.
All right, well, that's great. That's certainly a combo that we'll keep an eye on. Not too often you see the mother-daughters playing on the same court, so that's great. And a good win to start the season for Tumby Bay. Let's move on to Elliston Districts and Cummins Kapinnie. Interesting one here. The reigning premiers, Elliston, just getting the narrow win over Cummins Kapinnie, 33-27.
Yes, I was actually very shocked with this scoreline, but also not very surprised if we go off of Cougars' year last year. So their 2023, they kept competitive, and margins to a minimum, really. They just almost couldn't get the win. But this year I see them doing one better by taking out some teams and going up some rungs on the ladder throughout the year. I'm very happy that they stuck with them, and I heard it was a very competitive game. There was great defensive pressure applied by both teams all the way down the court, causing lots of turnovers and back and forth play. Goals, unfortunately, weren't sinking. It just made the work rate a lot higher for both teams. New partnerships starting to combine later in the match, which everyone sort of started to get in each other's grooves, which was good, working each other out, and saw a better game of netball, a lot more steady. Charlie Manane, she was a workhorse through the centre court, taking lots of intercepts and valuing the ball to make sure she could get it into the goal circle and get the goal scored.
All right, well, an excellent win from Elliston Districts, closer than maybe expected, but it's a win on the board nevertheless. And our last game for the weekend that was Eyre United went down to Lock 29-13. So compared to your game that was 65-35, this one 29-13, very low scoring.
Absolutely, very low scoring game. We did have 5 A-grade five, I think it's more than that now, A-grade debutants. So you don't see that every week or very often whatsoever. So that was Hannah Zirk and Lily Tiller and Marlene Hounsell from Lock, and Caitlin Jefferson, Sydney Lockwood and Lily Taylor from Eyre United. So there you go, 6 debutants playing their first A-grade game, which is really exciting. They all stepped up to the occasion and proved their position and why they were there, making the A-grade side. So very exciting and great potential for the association with the young players coming up. Very low scoring game. Defence from both teams were very tight, which made both goalies work extremely hard. Tammy Lucina from Eyre United, she had a blinder at goal defence, taking intercepts left, right and centre. So she'll be one to keep an eye on this season. I think she'll have a very good season partnering with Eden Telfer in the defensive third. And, she reads the ball extremely well and plays amazingly just in that ring. She reads to the space and takes up the space and confuses lots of goalies in movements there. So she'll definitely be one to watch.
All right, well done to Lock getting their first win of the season, and well done to those 6 debutants as well. Great to see so much new blood coming into the A-grade in this association. And Alex, what's going on? No games this weekend. Is everyone already needing a rest? Not enough pre-season?
Well, we've have the weekend off this weekend to watch the Peter Teakle Cup in Port Lincoln. The Redlegs take on the Bloods. So Norwood and West Adelaide will go head-to-head in Port Lincoln. So give everyone the weekend off just to head down and watch the footy or rest their legs if they need it.
Fair enough. And are you getting along to the footy wearing the red and blue, I hope, for the Redlegs?
Yes, I'll head down and have a look and see what I can work out. Maybe give the boys some tips.
Excellent stuff. All right, well, Alex, enjoy the footy. All our listeners, enjoy the weekend off in Great Flinders Netball, and we'll be back at it next week. Enjoy the weekend off, Alex. We'll speak to you next week.
No worries. Thank you. You too.